Greetings YouTube, Joe here with Culination Media, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. This is episode number 73, and in this episode, well, we begin here at the Pokemon HQ lab because we have to purify Nosepass, and I figured, why not do that now instead of waiting until later when we can use this valuable space in the purifying chamber to get more Shadow Pokemon purified. So, Nosepass is going to regain the very useful move Thunderbolt, which helps get rid of water types who tend to be kind of pesky when you're dealing with a rock type such as Nosepass. And yeah, that's going to be pretty much it other than Helping Hand. I don't recommend using Nosepass just because its stats are fairly inferior because it doesn't evolve in third generation, so I would stay away from it if I were you. Alright, so let's see what we have here. Let's see. We've got Paris and Shelter that still need to be put into the purifying chamber. And they're fairly strategic types too, but I'm going to stay away from that for now since I have nothing else that I can do. So let's go back to the key lair. Okay, we're back here at the Cypher Key lair, and we're going to head up onto the roof. And there's a guy walking around up here, a big burly guy, and we actually don't have to even talk to him or battle him. You can just run right by him and he won't say or do anything. But if you do talk to him, he will battle you, and I would love to get the experience and the money, so I'm going to go for it. He's going to start with a Machoke and a Golem. And I'm going to start with Lairon and Vibrava. So Machoke is a pure fighting type. It's not something that we see a lot of. And then we also have Golem here, who is rock and ground type. And I'm going to try to get rid of this Golem because I believe it either has self-destruct or explosion. I'm not sure which one it is. But I don't want to have that thing explode, even though I have Lairon on the field who can tank it pretty easily. Just not interested in that happening. Iron Tail takes out the Golem very easily. Even despite Golem's awesome defensive stats. And the next objective will be to get Machoke off the field before it can use something like Vital Throw on Lairon and knock it out in one hit. Thankfully, it was paralyzed and couldn't move in that turn, in part thanks to Vibrava's Dragon Breath. And we're going to go for another one and just try to get this thing out of here, because if it uses Vital Throw on Lairon or even Karate Chop, with the 4 times effectiveness and the massive attack stat of Machoke, Lairon's pretty much a sitting duck, but we got him out of there with 3 hits, Headbutt, and 2 Dragon Breaths. And Vibrava's going to grow up to level 37 there. Of course, no moves learned because he just learned a whole slew of moves right before evolving and after evolving. Mantine is a replacement, so now we have Mantine and Fortress on the field, both of which have quad weaknesses. Fortress to fire, and it's its only weakness, and Mantine to electricity, which also is kind of sort of like its only weakness. It's also technically weak to rock, but with the water type as its other dual type or type part, whatever you want to call it, rock types don't normally fare so well against Mantine at all. So we're going to switch out Lairon for Zaprong. And we're going to switch Vibrava out for Ninetales and make this happen. Both of these Pokemon are going down in the next turn, and there's nothing they can do about it. And Fortress goes for the Bide, which actually that's a pretty good move for Fortress, but at the same time it's kind of a bad move for Fortress because while it inflicts double the damage that Fortress takes over the 2-turn time period, Fortress's defenses are so freaking high that a lot of times it just nothing really does any damage to it unless you hit it with a fire-type move, in which case it pretty much kills it. So, again, Fortress don't understand the Bide there. It goes down in 1 hit to Flamethrower, and Zaprong is going to go for the Thunder Punch, the quad super effective Thunder Punch on Mantine, and that brings it down in 1 hit, despite its amazing special defense capabilities. And now we're just left with a level 31 Crobat on the field. And our Ninetales actually outspeeds it, which is impressive. Gets the Flamethrower off and does a considerable amount of damage here, but it's not going to be enough to take it out. and our Zaprong is not fast enough to outspeed it like the Ninetales was. So it gets a bite off, but thankfully it's just a bite, not a Confuse Ray or something like that. And the Thunder Punch from Zaprong finally takes that Crobat down. Down goes the Crobat, and down goes Cypher Peon Fuddler. What kind of name is Fuddler? I guess it's better than Muddler. Muddler Fuddler. Ha ha ha. It really wasn't that funny, but whatever. Alright, so let's see. We have another battle coming up here. Let's see how everyone's doing. We'll switch Lairon out for Vaporeon, and we'll just leave it like that for now. That's all that we need to do. This guy has a couple of Shadow Pokemon, I believe. I don't remember what the rest of his Pokemon look like, though. Yeah, I can't make up my mind. I think I'm just going to keep it the way I have it. Above here is the factory's all-important control machine. I can't let you pass, even if it takes inches off of my chest. And even if it does take a couple of inches off your chest is still going to be bigger than mine because, I mean, look, this guy's torso is bigger than we are. It's ridiculous. Golduck and Hitmontop are his starting Pokemon, both single-type Pokemon. Hitmontop is fighting, of course, and Golduck is water-type. So I didn't exactly pick the greatest matchups here. Let's see. Well, we can go for a Water Pulse on Hitmontop, and the Intimidate from Hitmontop did lower our attack, so Sand Tomb is pretty much out of the question. We'll go for a Dragon Breath on Hitmontop as well to try to get him out of here. And we get the Paralysis condition again, which is awesome. I mean, I've been getting Paralysis a lot with Dragon Breath lately. All on non-Shadow Pokemon, mind you, because the minute I try to paralyze Shadow Pokemon with Dragon Breath, it's just suddenly going to stop working, because that's how it works. Scratch from Golduck did almost nothing, because that's a ridiculous attack for being in the 30s. What is it, a level 33? And it's still no Scratch? That is pathetic. At least your name's not Fuddler, though. Okay, and Hitmontop went for the Focus Energy, so its critical hit ratio has gone up. I'm going to see if I can get this Golduck paralyzed. Get a critical hit on the Dragon Breath. Doesn't paralyze him, though. And Bite, almost knocks it out. Golduck is going to go for another Scratch. Why are you doing that? Why don't you know, like, Icy Wind, Ice Beam, anything? Even, like, I don't know, Water Gun would have done more damage. Hitmontop thankfully was not able to attack that turn because of the paralysis. And this turn we should be able to knock out both of these Pokemon. And yeah, have a 2 Pokemon advantage right off the bat. Golduck goes down to a crunch. And the replacement Pokemon is yet another fighting type. A pure fighting type at that from the 3rd generation, the Hoenn region. Hariyama, the evolution of Makuhita. So you may actually have one of these on your team if you train the Makuhita that we caught from the Pyrite Town invasion. Vaporeon grew up to level 38, which is awesome. And out comes Venomoth, the bug and poison type Pokemon from Kanto. And it is a Shadow Pokemon, and I personally love Venomoth. I think Venomoth is awesome. It comes with a wide variety of moves. It can learn Silver Wind. I think it's at level 1 that it learns it. So if you take it back to the move tutor after it evolves from Venonat, it already knows Silver Wind, which is awesome. It also learns a lot of Psychic moves on its own via level up, and can be taught grass moves like Giga Drain through TM as well. Just a very well-rounded, very useful bug type, which is unusual. And I think it also comes with Sleep Powder as well, so this thing can be extremely dangerous if used correctly. And I know a lot of Pokemon can be dangerous if used correctly, but this Pokemon, I guess, is more so versatile than a lot of other Pokemon. More versatile with less work, which, I mean, doesn't get any better than that, right? And if I didn't have Crobat, I would highly consider using Venomoth, even with it being this late in the game. Alright, so that's enough fanboying. We're going to go for a Dragon Breath with Vibrava on Venomoth. And Paralysis? Paralysis? No. See, what did I say? We're just going to get a bunch of Dragon Breaths off, and none of them are going to freaking paralyze anyone ever again, unless it's not a Shadow Pokemon. Hariyama goes down to the Water Pulse there, and it's his last Pokemon. Weepinbell, the Grass and Poison type evolution of Bellsprout. And it is also a Shadow Pokemon, so we have 2 Shadow Pokemon out in the field at the same time here. Which one is more dangerous as far as being a Shadow Pokemon? Weepinbell, actually, because Venomoth likes to spam Shadow Rush, which, I mean, is a decent move and whatnot, but Weepinbell comes with Shadow Rave, and that is more powerful, and it attacks both of your Pokemon at the same time. So, if you do get them out on the same field, if you get them out at the same exact time, I would recommend going after the Weepinbell first to get it off the field so that it doesn't use Shadow Rave. That's what I was trying to say. It just wasn't working as usual. You guys know the drill. This happens in every freaking episode. All right, let's see where we go from here. Have to keep in mind that they're only at level 32, so they're not going to be able to take a crap ton of hits. I do need to be careful, especially with Weepinbell, because it's not fully evolved and its defenses aren't quite as good as Venomoth's. So actually, since Venomoth has lower health right now, I'm going to try to capture it first. It would be nice if I had a net ball, because that would make things a lot easier. Take some pressure off, but thankfully he stays in that Ultra Ball without too much of a fuss. We get a quick attack off with Vaporeon to get Weepinbell into a more reasonable and more manageable range as far as health goes, because just leaving it hovering around the halfway mark for HP just isn't quite enough when it comes to this point in the game. We go for another quick attack with Vaporeon, just in case this Weepinbell decides that it wants to be stubborn. But I'm going to try a Great Ball, even despite not having any status conditions on it, and see what that gets me. I'm hoping that you're going to stay in there. You know you want to. Thank you. Weepinbell stays in the Great Ball, and keep in mind that if you do want to add this thing to your team, you're looking for a good grass type, you do need a Leaf Stone to evolve it, which means you had to have not evolved Nuzleaf with a Leaf Stone that we obtained way back in the Shadow Pokemon Lab, which is pretty much like the first time that we saw Cypher. And there's only 1 Leaf Stone in the game, so hopefully you didn't use it. Otherwise, I would recommend staying away from that Weepinbell. Okay, well, we do have another battle up here, I think, with a scientist, but I'm going to save that for next time. And, yeah, don't mind me, I'm just changing my Pokemon all over the freaking place. I'm going to just run right by him here and open this chest to reveal TM number 26, which is probably the best TM in the game because it contains Earthquake. And we're going to boot it up right now and not waste any time. Lairon and Vibrava are able to learn it, but we're going to teach it to our ground type, Vibrava, because once he evolves and we get a Flygon on our hands, using Earthquakes all the time is going to be a deadly move. So, awesome. I'll switch him, I guess, to the front, even despite him not having a lot of health. And I can probably heal them up, get ready for next time, because we have a couple of battles left before we have to go fight Gorgon, the next Cypher admin. That's going to be the end of this episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and please stay tuned for episode number 74. Game on!